Assalamu alaikum students. I hope you are fine and safe at your home. This is class 4 English lesson of reading comprehension of the unit 1, that is Band's Kite. At the end of the lesson, you will be able to read with proper understanding, pronounce new words correctly and recognize their meaning, and answer the questions keeping the context in view. Let's begin our lesson first by asking different questions. Do you know how to fly a kite? Yes? Okay. Have you ever tried kite flying? You have to share your experience with me. Like, I have never tried kite flying. I hope you must have tried. Okay, you have to share your experience. How is kite flying dangerous? According to me, I think a kite flying is dangerous because when it uses wire instead of the string, right? Because it cuts the and it kills the people. It cuts the necks of the people and it kills the people, right? Now, before we start the reading of the unit, I have to show you something. There is a story of a kite that I will show you. You have to watch this video very carefully. And when we are done with while watching the video, I will discuss what the story was about, what the kite actually wanted. You have to watch this video very carefully. Okay? So you see, students, this was the story of a red kite. What did you learn from this story? This is basically a moral story. It gives us a very good moral. The red kite wanted to fly up, up, and up in the air. You see, there were few other kites that used to look at this red kite on a very, very bad way. The red kite wanted to fly up in the air, right? It wanted to fly very high. So you see, it tried a lot of other ways, like it took balloons on it, it had a copter cap on it, right? But it failed. Now, what happens one night is a storm comes up and it caught in the tree. The children extended its string and made it fly very, very up high. So this gives a very good lesson, a moral lesson to us, that if we want to go up in our life, then we must not lose our hope, right? Hope is very important. Struggling, trying, and keeping a hope. So, students, I hope you like this story. Now, this was about a kite. Now, students, I hope that you want to study, you want to read what we are going to have in our unit comprehension story. Look at page 6 and 7 of your textbooks. You can see that there is a picture in which there are a lot of people who have gathered and they are trying to fly the kites. These are the kites, right? What do you think? What can be the story be about? Is it about kite flying? Now let's look at some other pictures. Yes, there are some people that are gathered here and they are trying to fly the kites. In the next picture, you see that a child is sitting with his parents and he is making a kite by himself, right? So, what do you think? This story can be about making a kite? Yes? Okay, let's predict the story. Maybe it is about kite flying, or maybe it is about kite making, right? Now, let's start reading the story. The story name is Ben's Kite. One bright, breezy day, Ben's mom and dad took him to the kite festival on the hill. So you see, students, this is the kite festival on which the mother, the father, and the child Ben went to the kite festival on a hill. Everyone there was flying kites. There were huge kites and small kites. Kites like octopus, kites with stringy tails, and kites which could whirl in the air and do stunts. The family sat there, they watched the flying kites. Ben also wanted to fly a kite. So you see, the three people, Ben, his mother, and his father, went to the hill on a kite festival, and there were people who gathered there, and they were flying kites of different sizes, shapes, colors, right? Few kites were very huge, they were very big, and few kites were very small. A few kites were showing stunts in the air. There were different shapes of the kites there were that were people were trying to fly. Ben also wanted to fly a kite. They all sat together and watched the people who were flying the kites. Mom bought Ben a very tiny blue kite so that he could join in the fun. Ben loved to feel his kite tugging in the wind. It did not go as high as the big kites, and it did not do tricks, but it was his kite, and he was proud of it. So the mother of Ben brings a very small kite, blue color kite for Ben, and Ben tried to fly that kite. The kite was flying in the air, and it started. Flying in the wind, and it did not go so much high as the big kites were going, but still he was very much loving that small kite. After the festival, Ben took his kite home and found a special place for it on top of the bookshelf in his room. Right? So when Ben came back to home, he put that small little tiny blue kite in the bookshelf in his room. So this was today's paragraph that we read, and now look at some new vocabulary words and their meanings. First is festival, a day or period of celebration. Huge, that is big. Tiny means small. Tugging means pulling. Students, you have to learn these words along with their meanings. Now let's see how they are used in the paragraph that we have read. Paragraphs that we have read just now. Festival, you see, they went to the festival. People were celebrating kite flying, right? Next is huge. Huge means it is a very big kite. Tiny, small. Tugging means his kite tugging in the wind. It was pulling in the wind, right? Pulling the wind away. Now let's read the next part. Page number 7. The next windy day, Ben took it down and asked his mum if they could go to the playing field and fly it again. Mum agreed, and soon the tiny blue kite was flying high up in the sky. Ben held it tightly, feeling the string tugging at his fingers. So the next day, when Ben saw that it is a windy day, he asked his mother that we should go that we should go to the playing field and try the flying of this small little tiny blue kite. Mom agreed, and both of them went. And Ben fly up. Ben was flying up the a blue kite in the sky. Suddenly, there was an strong gust of wind. It pulled the string right out of Ben's hand. The kite flew away. So students, we have here a difficult word, that is gust. Let's see what does it mean. A blast of wind. So there was a strong blast of wind. There was a strong pressure of wind that Ben felt. And what happened in the strong pressure, the string was in the Ben's hand. It just pulled away and the kite went away in the wind. Mum and Ben ran after it as fast as they could. They tried to catch hold of the trailing string, but the wind was faster than they were. It blew the tiny kite on the top of a very tall tree. They couldn't get it down, and Ben and his mum went home feeling very sad. The word trailing means a track or mark left by something. So when they saw that the kite flew away in the strong pressure of wind, Mum and Ben ran after it as fast as they could. But it was all in vain, because they could not run so much fast as compared to the wind that blew taken the kite away from them. So they returned and came back to home feeling very sad. When Ben's dad came home from work the next day, he had a long, thin parcel for Ben. It was a new kite. So, father brought a surprise for him and he bought a parcel for Ben. Dad helped Ben put it together. It was bigger than his old one and had a face with red and yellow colors and two round eyes. So you see, Dad brought a very good kite for Ben, and it was much more better than the old one. It had also a face on it, and there were red and yellow colors, and two round eyes were there. It had also a streaming tail. Ben was pleased. He thanked his dad and ran upstairs to put it on this shelf. The kite smiled down at him. So you see, the kite that was brought by dad had a face on it. It has two round eyes. It was of red and yellow color, and Ben was very happy after looking at it. He suddenly went upstairs in his room and put it on the same shelf on which he put the old kite, right? And you see, the kite was looking at him with a smiling face. "You don't want to go out and fly it, do you?" asked Dad. "No," said Ben. "I think it's safer on the shelf." So Ben was, I guess, he was very much afraid that he don't want his new kite to be lost again as the old one. So he thought that it would be safe to put it on the shelf and keep it on the shelf. So Ben's kite stayed on the shelf. He did not want to fly it in case it go away. One windy morning, Mum came into Ben's room and saw him looking up at his kite. "My kite isn't smiling anymore," said Ben. You see, mother came to his room and asked Ben what happened. Ben said that my kite is not smiling anymore. Why do you think why his kite is not smiling anymore? Yes? Very good. Because it has been lying in the shelf for a lot of time. A much time, longer period of time it has been there. It wanted to fly. He is not feeling very happy. "Why, what's the matter with him?" asked Mom. Ben is telling his mother that my kite is not feeling very happy. Mother asks, "Why? What do you think? Why he is not feeling happy?" "I think he wants to fly. He does not like staying on the shelf every day," Ben answered quietly. So Ben felt that his kite is lying on the shelf and is wanting to fly. That is why it is not very happy. "Well, let's go out and fly him then. What if he gets away?" "He won't," said Ben's mom cheerily. "I will show you a special way of holding the string." So the mother of Ben says that, Ben, this kite is not going to go away anywhere. I will tell you a way through which you cannot go get out the grip of it. In the fields, the kite swooped high up in the sky, almost as high as the clouds. "Look, he's smiling at me," shouted Ben. "He's happy to be flying." So you see, when Ben went to the fields, he wanted to fly the kite in the sky, and he is saying that, "Look at the kite, it is smiling at me, and he is very happy to fly." Ben was happy to feel the kite tugging at the string, which he knew was looped safely around the palm of his hand. So, in the end of the story, Ben was also happy because his kite was happy and it was giving a very strong smile to Ben. So, students, do you like this story? Yes, I liked it very much. All right, let's discuss the words and meanings first. Swooped, move rapidly downwards through the air. Cheerily, happily. Students, you have to learn the words along with the meanings. Okay, now pronounce the words after me after listening to the words pronunciation. Okay, I will pronounce the words that are given here and you will listen to me very carefully and then repeat the same pronunciation. All right? Bright, festival, huge, octopus, tugging, special, trailing, catch, string, parcel, shelf, palms, looped, cheerily. All right, students, these were some new vocabulary words, and I hope you have repeated with the same pronunciation as you have listened to me. Okay. Now, students, today we will move towards task 1. This is a short passage that is taken from the story that we read, and in it there are some misspelled words. You have to read it very carefully, right? You have to rewrite it on your notebooks and you have to rewrite it while you are going to correct the misspelled words that are there. Identify the misspelled words and then write with the correct spellings. I will just read it out for you so that you may identify that which words are incorrectly written or misspelled words. Mum and Ben ran after it as fast as they could. They tried to catch hold of the trailing string, but the wind was faster than they were. It blew the tiny kite onto the top of a very tall tree. They could not get it down, and Ben and his mum went home feeling very sad. Got it? Now, after you have written the misspelled words by correcting them, you have to check whether you have correctly written those words. See, now this is the correct word, passage with the correct spelled words. All right, now let's move towards task 2. What is task 2 for today? Write the missing letters and make complete words. Use each word in your own sentences. TRI-KS. What can be the missing letter to make complete word? It can be tricks. TRICKS. Next is T dash G dash ING. The correct word is tugging. 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 Now the next word is B R dash E dash Y. What can be the this word? What can be this word, students? Students, let's move towards task 2. Write the missing letters and make complete words. Use each word in your own sentences. The first word is TRI-KS. You have to fill the correct letter in the blank so that a meaningful word is formed, and then you have to use these words in your own sentences. So, the first word, can you guess it? The first word is tricks. 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 Very good. Next word. This word you must have read in the story that we read. T-G-I-N-G. Can you guess it? Very good. It is tugging. 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 Next is O C dash O dash P U S. So the word is octopus. 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 Very good. Next is UP dash T dash IRS. Can you guess this word? Very good. It is upstairs. PA-C-L. Can you guess this word? This is parcel. Very good. Now students, you have to use these words tricks, tugging, octopus, upstairs and parcel in your own sentences. The first one I will make, the first one word I will use it in my own sentence. Tricks. I like magic tricks, right? All right. Now let's move towards task 3 of our lesson today. You have to rearrange the words to make complete sentences. Okay? Helped, put it, dad, Ben together. Dad helped Ben put it together. Very good. Now the next sentence is trimming, tail, it also a had. What is the arrangement of it? It also had a streaming tail. Very good. They watched the flying kites. Stayed, kite, bends on the shelf. Ben's kite stayed on the shelf. Very good. Now students, I want you to take out your notebooks and you have to answer the questions of comprehension. Write the name of the chapter, write the date and write the first question. You have to write answers of these questions in your notebooks. What were the kites like? What did Ben do after the festival? Why did Mom and Ben run after the kite? What did Dad have when he came home from work the next day? So students, now let's wrap up our lesson today by watching a very meaningful and moral lesson through this video. And this is a story about a boy who has no kite. So, students, this was the moral story with a moral that sometimes we do use others' things, and we don't have those things, but they are of other people. But at the end of the day, we do realize that this was not something that belonged to us. One must be fair from his own inside. All right, thank you so much, students. I hope you have liked the whole story and that we read, and also liked the videos. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.